Back here and Lincoln IGA, as the cheap seats are here for the Lincoln IGA Ground Incorporated and the Jake's Furnishings annual holiday Lincoln Logan County Food Pantry. So stop on out this morning, and we'll be here till 10, but Jeff number 2 and Jim will be here until 2 o'clock this afternoon, and you can bring non-perishable food items or purchase a pre-packed sack for, I think there's $5, $10, and $20 pre-packed sacks for some of the people around that need it during the holidays. So stop on out and talk with us, join us, and you can, of course, get registered to win that one grand prize valued of over $1,200. We're sitting behind us are some of the prizes here. So come on and check them out and get a chance to win. Might be some nice Christmas presents there, Jake.
Absolutely, a nice recliner.
That's right.
Swivel gliding recliner here.
I'm sure that's from where.
The Jake's.
That's right.
Nice little end table to match up, too.
Perfect.
Huh?
Perfect. Hey, Jake, Central State 8 basketball, as we were just talking off air, Jake says it's going to be a tough one in the Central State 8 this year, I think.
Well, I tell you, a lot of good teams in the Central State 8, as we kind of talked about a little bit, and Coach knows this already. Mm-hmm. A lot of size in the Central State out, and teams that don't, Central State 8, and teams that don't have size, seems like they got some real quick athletes that really know the game and play the game well. So,
well, we've got some scores already. Lincoln, of course, now since the Central State 8 is now the Central State 9, one team has to have a bye week. And I don't know if this is good or bad, but the Railers drew the number 1. So they got the first week of the conference schedule as the bye week. So personally, I think I like to have about midway if I had my choice, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, you get what you got, and the Railers drew week 1, so we were not in the Central State 8 slate this weekend, but Sacred Heart Griffin was, and Springfield was, and Sacred Heart Griffin was a winner, 37-34 over the Springfield High. Springfield High dropped to 1-4, and a little bit of a surprise to me. Some quality guys coming back for the Senators, and they usually get off to a bad start, and then they seem to somehow come on late in the end of the year. But Sacred Heart Griffin off to a, they only play a couple games now. And most of the teams now are 5 games in, but they're usually in the state championship, so they don't play any games early because their football guys will be here. But they won 37-34. Trenton Tate and Austin Ingleton were their leading scorers. Willie Wiley was the leader for Springfield. And a exciting game. Several ejections, as I read in the paper this morning. Lanphier was a winner, 87-71 at Southeast last night. Lanphier improves to 4-0. That's the second time they've beat Southeast. They also faced off over in the Decatur Thanksgiving tournament in the championship, and of course Lanphier was a winner over there. Southeast drops to 2-2, 0-1 in the conference. Everett Clemens, you remember him from last year.
From a few weeks back.
Football. And he is an animal. He's a great athlete, not a great shooter, but goes to the rim hard. He had 40 points last night, 40 points and 11 boards for Everett Clemens, the senior. Chris Davis led Southeast with 19, Herman Sr. with 14. Chatham Glenwood was a winner, 76 to Taylorville's 29. Daniel Helm, who most of you, if you follow the Railer basketball, didn't hear of him last year. He's a transfer. He moved in 6'6", 225. I saw him on the football field as a receiver. Yep. He had 24 points. T.J. Gates had 16. He had 5 threes. So Chatham, another tough team coming up in the Central State 8. And as we talked about, Jacksonville beat Rochester 51-38. I think, Jake, this might be the most well-balanced slate of teams in the conference that we've had for several years. You've got Griffin's good, Springfield's good, Lanphier, Southeast, Chatham, and Jacksonville, all I would say in that upper tier. I think
Sacred Heart can win a few games here and there too. So.
They won. They were good last year. They've got a couple. This Austin Ingleton was a returner from last year, so it's going to be a tough one all season long in the Central State 8 in the conference because, as you said, Jake, size plus athleticism is the Railers. Are good too. We're going to be right there. I think it's wide open.
To be honest, with our coaching and stuff, we do have inexperienced guys. We know that.
Yeah.
That's why we threw the ball away a little bit too much the other night. Mm-hmm. But with our coaching, that's going to change. The preparation for the games with the guys, the coaches learn as the kids do, and Coach Al gets them ready. So.
Yeah, and that start will be next Friday at Central State 8. First game for the Railers will be at Rochester at that new gymnasium, so excited to go over and check that out. In local area, too, Jake, Hardham was a winner big over Clinton 69-42. Hardham improved to 3-2. Cody Bolin led the Stags with 23 points. It seems like he's leading the Stags every night out over at Hartsburg-Emden. And Pleasant Plains was a winner over Mount Pulaski 65-38. Mount Pulaski falls to 3-3. Mark Foley led the Hilltoppers with 17 points. So for the local action, that's about it, Jake. But as we talked about before we brought Coach on, a lot of basketball going on. I watched last night Syracuse and Florida. Yep. I think it was a 4-9 matchup or something like that. Anyway, top 10. And then I watched Vanderbilt play Louisville. You had the Pac-12 championship last night where Oregon walked away with that big time. And a lot of basketball going on. Illinois wins in the Big Ten ACC Challenge on Monday or Tuesday at Maryland, so that was a big road win, but they've got an even bigger win tonight.
I was going to say, a big game today. What, 2 o'clock game?
2:15, it says it's going to start. That's at the Assembly Hall. The number 19 Gonzaga Bulldogs come to make that long trip from out west to Illinois. Illinois 7-0, Gonzaga 5-0. And I did watch Gonzaga the other night, and they are very talented. They've got a lot of experience back. They've got John Stockton's son, who's their point guard. And they've got Robert Sacre, I believe his name, a starter for the last 2 years. Big animal inside. So they are a very good team, of course, with their number 19 ranking. But a big win for the Illini. If we can, the place will be rocking today.
Oh, yeah. Says they're not a fluke, and that's a fact. It does seem like, though, in the past few years, Illinois matches up well against Gonzaga. For whatever reason, the coaching strategy works real well against them. And to be honest, I'm getting, especially after the ACC Big Ten Challenge, a little more geared up to see some of these young guys again, with Illinois, inexperienced guys perform. And, I like Shaw, I like Abrams. There's a few guys, Mascalco. He's not inexperienced, but he's coming over here to Illinois for the first time. It's kind of interesting, man. I really like the team this year. It's just fun to watch.
Well, I'm saying the Illinois coaching staff is praising the Bradley institution for not having Maniscalco's graduate degree, because if not, without Maniscalco, this team is not near as good. You see a leader, you see a strong and experienced tough guy, and I don't know that if without Maniscalco, we're not 7-0 for sure.
Yeah, well, I think we'd be a lot like last year, looking for an identity, looking for a guy to bring the team up. McCamey last year did a nice job for the Illini, but he was not that floor general. You could tell he did not demand the attention like Maniscalco does.
And he does. He tells the guys where to go. He takes the big shots. He wants the ball in the hands. He's an excellent free throw shooter.
And he's smart where to put it. He puts it where it needs to be.
Right. I'm just saying the Illini Nation is thankful for that Bradley University for not having that.
Absolutely.
In order for him to transfer over. But yeah, I'm looking at some of the stats for Gonzaga. They've got 3 guys in double figures: 16, 15, 11. Another guy with 8. They're big. The Illini have 3 in double figures. Also, Maniscalco, DJ Richardson, and Myers Leonard, who has already gotten off to a great start. 12 points a game, 6.5 rebounds per game. Over right around 3 blocks per game. He's as athletic as a big guy that I've seen.
Especially for Illinois. Yeah. I mean, he does move real well. He does. He's so long. He does have a tendency to get in a little bit of tic-tac foul trouble. But really has upped his game this year. Has become a much bigger guy this year. Really fun to watch in transition, and man, can he erase some shots.
Yeah, and that's been the thing where the Illini haven't really had in the last. I don't think until maybe since Marcus Griffin, James Augustine had some block shots, but we haven't had that guy in the paint that can just, you're going to remember. When you go in there the first time and you get it thrown in the bleachers, you're going to remember that you go back in there. And not only Myers Leonard, but they've got some younger freshmen that are excellent inside, long, lanky, can jump. I've read things where the Illini want to push the basketball a little more, and you've seen that trapping all over the court, picking up some press. So a little bit more of a different style than we've seen from the Illini in the last couple of years.
Well, I think they're a lot more athletic this year from top to bottom. Their big men are as well. Even the guys coming off the bench are more athletic. And you know what? The one thing I will give them is even the guards, they're willing to rebound. They're willing to go in there and rough it up a little bit and get dirty and grab that loose ball. So.
Well, they have to. The guards are 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", somewhere around in there. Tyler Griffey has to be a key to this team all year. He's got to step up. He's kind of been lost in the shuffle in the last couple of years, but he's a lot more aggressive than he has been. He's shooting the ball well. So, my thing is, again, we shoot a lot of threes. We've done it last year. We did it the year before. And this group of guards, as athletic as they are, should be able to go to the hole a little more. But now we've got a post presence too in Myers Leonard that hopefully when we need it, we will have some easy baskets. Jake, we're going to take another quick commercial break here and then come back and talk some football. Right. Packers going for that. Of course we talk about the 16-0. Should they do it? Should they bring out players? Should the Bears sign McNabb?
Ooh.
I'm going to get your thoughts. The furniture guy, our football NFL expert, Jake. We're going to get your thoughts on what the Illini, or not the Illini, but and Illini too. Are they going to get a bowl bid? You think they'll get a bowl bid?
Are they going to get a real coach?
Well, we'll find that out too. We'll be back here on the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. It's the WLCN 96.3 radio, Lincoln IGA, Ground Corporate, and Jake's Furnishings annual holiday Lincoln-Logan County Food Pantry Drive at the Lincoln IGA in downtown Lincoln. Thanks for joining us live, along with the Lincoln IGA, Ground Corporate, and the Jake sitting to my left as we help those less fortunate this holiday season and year-round by bringing your non-perishable food items or purchasing pre-packed sacks containing much-needed items hand-selected by the Lincoln-Logan County Food Pantry for their shelves. We have lots of prizes, including the grand prize valued at over $1,200, so stay with the WLCN 96.3 FM and join us at Lincoln IGA today up until 2. We're going to be here till 10, but then number 2, and Jim will be here until 2 o'clock. So stop by the Lincoln IGA and help someone in need. Jake, before we get off the college slate, I wanted to bring something up to you. Illinois football, 6-0 start. In the season, that's, 6-6,
yeah.
6-5, something like that. I've quit watching the last few games. Do they still get a bowl bid? As bad as you win 6 in a row, and you lose 6 in a row, 5 in a row, whatever it is, you think they look into that and say, these guys are not playing well, they're not, their coach got fired. Are the Illini going to go to a bowl?
They're going to go to a bowl. I mean, it could be the Rail Splitter Outback Bowl.
Hey.
The Hull Smith-Latham Bowl, something like that. I don't know. I believe they will go to a bowl for a couple reasons, to be honest. And one main reason is because Illinois travels well.
Right.
One of the best traveling schools in the nation. So I believe we will go to a bowl, and I believe we will win a bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
As Vic Komnick, the interim now, and he has been the defensive coordinator, has stepped in for Ron Zook, who later last week lost his job after that bad showing at Minnesota, and the bad showing really lasts for the second half of the season.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, the game against Michigan, I think, kind of sealed it for him.
Right.
There was no consistency.
Well, it's not always the coach.
One of your players going out and getting shot.
Yeah. Wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, there were things that worked into it. This had been a work in progress. But then we start 6-0, and he's the best thing since sliced bread. And then we go lose 2, and he's on the hot seat. Here we go. He lose 4 now. He's fired. Get him out of here, and this and that. So winning is everything, as you know, Jake. And absolutely. I believe the only reason we will go to a bowl is because we're in the Big Ten.
Yes.
It's a power conference. And as you said, we will bring fans. We will bring money to that stadium, wherever it may be, whatever bowl it may be.
Whatever city that is, whatever stadium, we'll bring money.
Yes, and I think that's the only reason, not has anything to do with talent. We have the talent. It's the reason that we're not going to go is because we're not playing well and we don't have a coach and all that kind of stuff. But we will go. I agree with you. We will go to a bowl because of our Big Ten Conference. Absolutely. And because of our following.
The real question is, when does the searching start for the next coach?
I read an article in the paper about the AD said this is the first time you'll hear me say about we're starting a coaching search, and it begins now. And this is you won't hear from me until I hire somebody. So they're going now. There people are out there. Texas A&M has fired their coach.
Yep.
There's a bunch of possibilities of openings out there. I think for me, I want to see somebody that is an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator at a big school.
From Texas Tech
right.
2 years ago. He had some issues there as well.
He's got too much. Yeah, he's had a troubled past.
I believe he's maybe already
signed with Washington
already.
State. Yeah. So I want to see an offensive coordinator from an Alabama. I want to see a defensive coordinator from LSU. I want to see somebody that's been in a power school, a power conference. Somebody, yes, that's been there before. And plays for or coaches for a good school. So
I'd like to see somebody from an SEC school.
Me too. Yeah, I want the recruiting of SEC. I want the speed. I want somebody that's like an LSU guy. You know, who wouldn't want to have an LSU guy or an Alabama guy or an Arkansas guy, something like that. So we'll see how it plays out. But just wanted to bring that up quick to you. Now NFL, Jake, Bears are at home against Kansas City. Very winnable game. Should win.
Scary.
And the Bears need to win.
Scary game.
Yeah, 7-4. Green Bay, of course, 11-0. Bears 7-4. Detroit 7-4. Minnesota 2-9. Detroit is searching here. Detroit is at New Orleans, so a very tough game.
Yeah,
probably a game that Detroit is picked to lose.
I would say yes.
And Ndamukong is out for his Tyrant once more. And now, though, Jake, we've got Caleb Haney in, no Cutler. Should the Bears go and sign McNabb? He's out there.
He's out there. He's available. He's proven. I do not believe he would be an upgrade.
No.
For Caleb Haney, I'll be honest.
He's not looked good in the last 3 years. He's bad the last 3 years.
But however, he is that veteran's presence that says, "Hey, if Haney sprains his ankle, our
next is some Orlovsky."
So, yeah, I mean, we'll have somebody that's a proven backup to maybe manage an end of a game. You would hope that he wouldn't have to play a game.
Because he's not been good.
Because he's not been good. But,
yeah, right.
At the same time, if you get a guy that's a veteran presence like that to finish off a game, I think that'd be, why not? The Bears are roughly $20 million under the cap.
There's a lot of money there.
There's a lot of money there. So, if you can take a hit for the rest of this year, do it.
Right.
You're making money hand over fist.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to in order to make the playoffs. I think we've got to have that backup, and I'm all for it. I've been a McNabb fan before, but last he's not been, like we talked about, not very good. He gets brought into Minnesota to be the starter, and he gets replaced by a rookie. I mean, that's not what you plan to do, but
he's not. I mean, you can say what you want. The Bears' offensive line has played a lot better.
Oh yeah,
they are still not a quality offensive line by any stretch of imagination. Jay Cutler and Caleb Haney can do it a little bit, but Jay Cutler did an awesome job of making that offensive line look good the last few weeks.
Yeah, Cutler was really good.
And Haney, you saw a little bit of it last week. However, I think this week he'll be a lot better than what he was last week, but it's not good.
No, and the defense can't do it all. We held the Raiders to 5 straight field goals in the first half last week. Janikowski hit all of them, but you're 15 points. I mean, the defense is there, the special teams is there. We've just got to find a way to move the ball a little bit more. Forte's been doing it. We just threw a couple of interceptions, but the guy hadn't played for years. Hadn't taken a snap in the NFL for a long time. So I think I'm all for going to get McNabb, and mainly because of an insurance policy.
Absolutely.
If Haney goes down, whether it be for the season, whether it be for a game, 2 games, we've got somebody with some experience. The guy's McNabb's from Chicago. I think he'd love to come back there and end his career being a Bear, whether he stays on for the rest of this year, for another year as a backup plan.
Well, Haney's a free agent after this year. So, and there's talks for this year that Cutler may not be back at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, including playoffs. If they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, so. I don't know that he is going to be back. He says he's got a long career ahead of him, and I don't think he's really rushing to get back. Now, if they get in the playoffs and they're in, and he says, "Well, maybe I can go now to do it." So,
well, do you let him do that? I mean, you're talking about your franchise quarterback. I mean, you don't get a lot of opportunities in the playoffs, I guess.
Right.
But at the same time, this guy is as good a quarterback as the Bears have had.
Sure.
Since I've been around, in my opinion, he's better than McMahon.
Really?
So, oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I thought McMahon was horrible.
I love McMahon. He's got the flair.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got the flair. That's about it.
Hey, Jake, enough for the Bears, real quick. For the Packer fans around here that are thinking about the
nice season.
Perfect season. You get 13, 14, 15 and 0. Got everything wrapped up in the playoffs that you can. You gonna play everybody?
Yes.
Really? I just don't believe it. I don't know.
I dislike those fighting fish that light up cigars every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see the Miami Dolphins stop.
Well, I'd love to too. Well, the Patriots did it too, but
they didn't.
They didn't win at all.
They didn't win at all.
Right.
You got to finish the season off. So.
See, I'm just not a man. But if you're 15 and 0, and Rodgers goes down on a 34-0 victory or whatever it is, even if it's 34-30 and he's still playing.
Professional wide receivers, they'll make the right route.
I understand that, but they don't. Somebody at any time he can go low and get hit.
Yeah.
I take him out. I take him out.
That's because you're a Bears fan.
I know. Well, so are you.
I know, but at the same time, I hate the Dolphins that much.
Hey, that's going to wrap it up for us today, Jake. Had a good time again, as always. A lot of basketball going on. Remember, today, Gonzaga and Illinois at 2:15, a big game, maybe the biggest game so far of the year. Kentucky and North Carolina play in Lexington today at 11 o'clock. What is it, 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2, something like that. Yep. Kentucky's number 1. So if you're not out and about yet, you might want to stay in for a little bit and watch some of that game, but then get out here to the IGA, Lincoln IGA, for the Holiday Lincoln Logan County Food Pantry. We're done here at 10, but Jeff, number 2, and Jim will be out here until 2. They got tons of prizes valued at $1,200. Jake's got a recliner out here.
This drive for the food pantry, it's a big deal, guys. Anybody can get out here and support this. It's huge. I believe there's over 500 families that get fed from this. Mm-hmm. So, this time of year, nobody should be hungry for one.
Right.
So, anybody can get out here and support the local Lincoln Food Pantry. It's a huge help.
Yeah. Come on out, especially out here to the to Lincoln IGA. The guys will be out here until 2 o'clock again. So come on out, and we want to thank everybody for listening. Jake, thanks for stopping by, of course, and we'll see you next Saturday. Yes, you'll be all. You got the vacation. You vacation.
I don't know about vacation, but
you get vacation days for Jake. Hey, Jake, that's going to do it here from Lincoln IGA. Stop on again. The guys will be here till 2 o'clock for the Lincoln Logan County Food Pantry. You're in the cheap seats. See you next Saturday.